Let's take a moment to talk about fossils. This is a trilobite. If I hold it up to my ear, I don't hear it telling me anything. I don't see a label attached. How do I know how this critter got caught in this rock? Nobody knows. Nobody was there to see it happen. It doesn't come with a video attached. So how do I know? Well, if you look in any textbook, they'll tell you they know. They'll tell you it was enormous periods of millions and hundreds of millions and a billion years where slowly sediment collected around it and this poor little critter got trapped. Trouble is, there are trillions of fossils in the layers of rock all over the world. So how did they all get there? It is a fact of science that we almost never see fossils forming today. You understand, when a fish dies in a pond or in the ocean, it doesn't turn into a fossil. In the 1800s, there was 100 million buffalo that were shot and skinned and left to rot on the Great Plains of the United States. 100 million. You can't even imagine that number. Drove them almost to extinction. Yet you go out to Nebraska or Kansas or somewhere on the Great Plains today, do we find some buffalo fossils? Ooh, look at all the buffalo fossils. Not a one. 0 fossils. 100 billion died, no fossils. It's because they were totally turned back to dust, eaten up by scavengers, completely destroyed. Same thing with fish. To form a fossil, you have to bury it deeply under so much sediment that bacteria and worms and erosional action can't change it. And then a molecule at a time, its body turns into stone. So why are the rocks filled with trillions of them? Because the flood talked about in the Bible, 3 chapters of the very early parts of the Bible describes a flood that covered this entire earth. It would have buried things rapidly and deeply by the trillions. What do we find in the rocks? Animals buried rapidly and deeply by the trillions. See, that is the correct interpretation of why we find fossils, not because there's been billions of years of Earth history, but because there's been a real world-covering flood on this planet in the recent past.